8 times Trump has lashed out at reporters and called them nasty and fake during his coronavirus press briefings. President Trump has consistently attacked reporters for asking negative or critical questions during his coronavirus press briefings. In some cases, the president has gone so far as to call reporters terrible, fake, and nasty, and telling some that they're never going to make it. Trump has made it clear that he prefers positive, easy news coverage of his coronavirus response, rather than difficult or critical reviews. He even went out of his way on Monday to show a video lauding his administration's efforts over the past few months during the press briefing. Here are 8 times the president has lashed out at reporters covering his coronavirus response. In late March, before the U.S. had experienced the height of its outbreak and many Americans were unsure of what to make of the pandemic, Alexander asked the president to address Americans who might be afraid. "What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?" Alexander asked. Trump immediately fired back with, "I say that you're a terrible reporter, that's what I say," and told Alexander that his question was very nasty and put out a bad signal to Americans. PBS News reporter asked the president to address a statement in which he said that governors don't actually need the equipment that they've requested to combat the virus, but Trump cut her off mid-sentence. "I didn't say that," he said. But when she challenged him and cited the statement from an interview on Fox News, Trump responded by saying, come on. Why don't you people, why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always getcha. And you know what? That's why nobody trusts the media anymore." He then went on to berate her for once working for the New York Times and now working for PBS NewsHour, and told her to be nice. Don't be threatening. In a tweet after the briefing, Alcindor wrote, "I'm not the first human being, woman, black person or journalist to be told that while doing a job. My take, be steady. Stay focused. Remember your purpose. And always press forward." Zhang asked Trump to clarify a statement made one day earlier by Jared Kushner, a White House senior advisor and the president's son-in-law, which implied that the strategic national stockpile was reserved for the federal government rather than states. After Kushner stated that the notion of the federal stockpile was it's supposed to be our stockpile, it's not supposed to be state stockpiles that they then use, Zhang was seeking clarification on what he meant by our stockpile. But the president quickly grew irritated by this question and began berating Zhang for asking a gotcha question in a nasty tone. "It's such a basic simple question and you try and make it sound so bad," Trump said. You ought to be ashamed, you know what? You ought to be ashamed." On April 5, Trump cut off a reporter in the middle of a question about slow government response to the coronavirus pandemic, and asked him, "Who are you with?" When the reporter answered, Associated Press, Trump responded by saying the media outlet was not so great, and not like it used to be. He then told the reporter that he should be thankful for what government agencies have done during the pandemic, rather than asking wise guy questions.